Ndị Igbo ekelekwanụ m unu. Anyị sị ka ụbọchị nkịta mara na anyị na mma. Anyị sị ka nke onye chiri ya zelụ dịka o si dị. Ihe a bụkwa Eastern News 24 ka anyị si wee wetara onye bụ ozi uru nje gị n'ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ebe ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya anụ mkpụrụ ụwa na-azụ n'ala Igbo dịka anyị si na-agba mbọ na-ewetara onye bụ ozi ka bakwarụ ka ị na-atụsị ya ka ọ na-erute ụmụnne anyị ndị n'ebe dị iche iche aka mana ka wee na-amara ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya. Alright, I agbapụ n'ọsọ wetara onye bụ this is according to the Biafran activist ozi o wetara n'iru akwụkwọ. Quote: The special counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Aloy Ejimako, has taken the bull to the horn as he unveils a certain secret concerning the injustice against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS custody. Hear the news in details. Alright, this is according to the Biafran activist wetara ya bụ ozi ka anyị tọgọ ntị na gee ya bụ ife o ji maka ya wee bịa n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa.
By the baffling aggression the federal government of Nigeria has levied against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu since 2015 when the current criminal proceedings was brought against him. By initially charging Mazi Kanu for treason and later for incitement of terrorism just because he rightfully agitated for Biafra, the Nigerian government leaves the impression that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu plus IPOB is the sole reason we're culprit and thus must pay the price for why Biafra resurged after experiencing a lull during the Obasanjo, Yaradua, and Jonathan years. Whereas, it is true that Mazi Kanu's charismatic leadership of the agitation did so much to advance it, the alternative fact remains that Nigeria, as presently constituted and governed, also did so much to justify the agitation. In other words, Nigeria, not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is the real reason why the specter of Biafra resurged and persists to this day. Nigeria was expected to become better after its tragic, genocidal civil war came to a dramatic close in 1970. It was called a civil war just because it was fought amongst compatriots. Yet in concept, execution, and dimension, there was nothing civil about it. It was vicious, attritional, and bereft of any compatriot spirit that seems to have been resurrected in the present era. There was no guarantee that Igbos or Biafrans would survive that war or its aftermath. Yet in the end, and counting to today, the very instinct for self-preservation and an unparalleled spirit of private enterprise plus their innate street wisdoms ensured that the people not only survived, they reconciled to the injustices of one Nigeria and moved on, hanging their hopes on a better Nigeria. But today, and with the travails of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the thousands of young Igbos who are being persecuted for daring to dissent, Nigeria is pedaling back to the same evils that brought that war in 1967. Those that feel very strongly that they have politically conquered the Federation and its vast opportunities have no qualms and are thus incapable appreciating the permanent damage they are doing to the diminishing prospects for one Nigeria. With the way post-war Nigeria was unilaterally structured to the disadvantage of one part and the ebullience with which such disadvantage is now being exploited, it will be naive and duplicitous to think that there will be absence of dissent. Like nature itself, dissent does not arise in a vacuum. It erupts as a natural reaction to the injustices of a state against its citizen. In such instance, it is the state, not the citizen dissenter, that is stoking the fire of dissent and of separatism. This is the scenario that directly led to the emergence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2015. So in a sense, it is Nigeria, not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, should be on trial for the Biafran agitation. The Nigerian state has now designated as an act of terrorism. The nation enjoys healthy and unifying democracy only if its leaders are willing to go beyond the narrow interests of their ethnic stock and direct their vision to the common good. This is the main reason self-determination passions waned throughout the Obasanjo, Yaradua, and Jonathan eras, but soared exponentially in the Buhari era. The first salvo was fired by former President Buhari himself when he uttered that infamous 97 versus 5%. A treasonous declaration that quickly gained traction and merciless implementation throughout his administration. To cap it all, Buhari derided the Igbos as a dot in Nigeria. A dangerous insult the present administration appears to condone, going by the utterances of some of its henchmen like Bio Adenuga. And the selective trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appears to have sealed the fate of Igbo as a people that should have no strong voice or dissent in the national affairs of Nigeria. To be sure, when tribalism is the most powerful drive in a diverse society, democracy and national unity suffer or merely exist as shadows of themselves, or worse, by fiat and the threat of state violence. Good leaders must have the big heart to accommodate all. Leaders have to be able to walk away from their little tribal enclaves to embrace all shoes. They have to find compromises and common grounds that can build a system that accommodates all. And you cannot do all these by continuing to detain and dehumanize a man who did nothing more than demanding basic political justice for his people. It is worse, and even dangerous to boot, when such a man has millions of followers and command for respect and loyalty of his people. Unfortunately, however, Nigeria has been thrust into a crucial moment where how you voted in the 2023 presidential elections, plus the tribe you belong to, are the most important considerations for enjoying the basic rights of citizenship, including that of holding the political opinion of self-determination. Even murderous terrorists, some of whom are foreigners, are entitled to the same technology. That's the TRUP, the dissenting dissemination of countries from foreign-dominated areas. Or they are held cut in the middle of a continent without the explainer trying to get back to national cultural inability. What does Nnamdi Kanu is capable of? Here's your word of knowledge from Nigeria: not Nnamdi Kanu should be on trial. Nigeria, not Nnamdi Kanu should be on trial. This essay is propelled by the antiquitous and baffling aggression the federal government of Nigeria has levied against Nnamdi Kanu since 2015. Their main charge is very despicable and creepy, but one perfect accomplish, precision and perfect comforts. Nigeria must have critical financial incentives to control against the assassination plot of the president of 1915. This concerning obsessive competition isn't going away anytime soon. That trap, that stable to the sly, cannot tell the Nigerian government has levied against Igbos because they are in the position of a disorganized superpower in spreading hatred to manipulate. Determination and control pressure are in this is swaying health fusion in health breaking them across this precarious and misogynistic dichotomy. If the Kanu is naturally stronger, therefore minds continuing the same milk. Nigeria, not Nnamdi Kanu should be on trial. This essay is propelled by the baffling aggression the federal government of Nigeria has levied against Nnamdi Kanu. It has come to remind the Nigerian economy and the Biafran fought legal culprit to privatize the experience of happy sovereignty. Nigeria has now sent privates their relative, a country formal, serving a justing proportionality of total treatment and no campaigning terrorists. No need to worry. The Nigerian government does not care about the official consequences of the war and turmoil regime unfavorable conditions. Nigeria, not Nnamdi Kanu should be on trial. This essay is propelled by the baffling aggression the federal government of Nigeria has levied against Nnamdi Kanu since 2015. By initially charging Nnamdi Kanu for treason and later for incitement of terrorism just because he rightfully agitated for Biafra, the Nigerian government leaves the impression that Nnamdi Kanu plus dipod is the sole reason or culprit and thus must pay the price. Democracy and national unity suffer. The leaders must have the big heart to make the leads, which is when the tribalism somehow is
Ndị Igbo ngwadalụ linenu dịka ịnụgo ya bụ ozi anyị ji maka ya wee bịa n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nketa na Eastern News 24. Ka ife nwere ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ihe ndị a niile nọ n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nketa. Gwa ife iche n'ụdị nke gị ngwa nke mesịa na ụmụnne m.